is the most ruthless move a WNBA team has made this year. In what is the single most ruthless move a team has made, what the Valkyries did with Julie Van Loo is mental.
In what is arguably the most ruthless move of the WNBA season, the Golden State Valkyries just made headlines for all the wrong reasons. The way they handled Belgian star Julie Van Loo is nothing short of mental. This isn't just a bad business decision, it's cruelty disguised as roster management. The WNBA is supposed to be on a high thanks to the Caitlin Clark effect. Record viewership, sold-out arenas, mainstream buzz.
Van Loo went overseas to play in a Euro tournament for Belgium, right? And basically ended up winning with Emma. And instead of celebrating and being with her fans and family.
And yet, somehow, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is watching her league crumble in real time under the weight of incompetence and indifference. Julie Van Loo, after leading Belgium to victory in the Eurobasket Championship, made a massive sacrifice to return to her WNBA team. While her country celebrated a once-in-a-generation win, overcoming a 12-point deficit against Spain with just 3 minutes to go, Julie skipped the parade, the champagne, the glory. She boarded a flight, exhausted but hopeful, rushing back to reunite with her Valkyries teammates. This wasn't just some exhibition match she won. Eurobasket is the biggest competition in European women's basketball. A win there secures a World Cup berth and writes your name in the history books. Julie wasn't a bench warmer either. She made the all-tournament second team.
She tried to hurry up and rush back to the Valkyries, so she got right on the flight, skipped the celebration, and midair, not even landing just yet, heard the news that she was waived from the Valkyries, man.
Averaging nearly 10 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds per game. She played her heart out, represented her country, and then rushed home to her team. And what did she get in return? She got waived. Not even after practice, not after checking in with the front office. No, she was cut while she was still on the damn plane, in midair. Imagine skipping the most meaningful moment of your professional career, sitting cramped on an 18-hour flight, eager to get back to your team, and finding out via social media that you've been dropped. No phone call, no heads up, just a blindside gut punch served cold. Julie's Instagram post said it all. Literally just touched down in the bay. I need some time to process all of this and put my feelings into words. I can't right now. That's not the post of someone who saw this coming. That's a post from someone whose world just got flipped upside down while she's still wearing airplane socks.
So Eurobasket, or the European Basketball Championship, is a big deal. It is whoever wins immediately qualifies for the 2026 World Cup next year. And the Golden State Valkyries particularly had a lot of players take a break from playing in the W to go.
The cruelty of the timing is what enraged fans most. The Valkyries didn't even have the basic decency to wait until she landed. And if they were going to cut her, couldn't they have done it sooner? The defense being floated is that had they waived her while she was still in Europe, her work visa would have been revoked, preventing her from returning to the US fine. But if that's the case, tell her, inform her in advance, let her process it. Give her the option to stay with her team in Belgium and celebrate properly. Instead, they let her fly back under false hope. It's the deception and the silence that sting. And where was Commissioner Engelbert during all of this? Silent. As usual. This is the same commissioner who boasts about growth, sponsorships, and increased visibility thanks to Caitlin Clark, yet is utterly invisible when players are publicly disrespected. Engelbert became commissioner in 2019. Under her leadership, the WNBA has made financial strides. Revenue has doubled from $60 million to $120 million.
Go play in that European Championship, including Julie Van Loo, who plays for Belgium. This is part of their contract, very normal. Julie Van Loo goes to Europe, and Belgium casually wins the whole tournament. Meanwhile, stateside, the Golden State Valkyries, without Julie Van Loo, are having a very successful period.
She's praised as a visionary, listed among Fortune's most powerful women. But when it comes to treating players with basic human decency, she vanishes. Julie Van Loo isn't just another name on a roster, she's a symbol now. A symbol of how disposable players can be treated when franchises prioritize PR optics over loyalty and respect. When you're flying high on record ratings, how do you allow a story like this to go viral? How do you let a franchise treat a player like garbage and say nothing while the whole world watches? And trust the world is watching. Julie's teammate, Emma Miesemann, 2019 WNBA Finals MVP, called it out. No, Making her miss a unique moment in Belgium is crazy. That's putting it lightly. Fans, analysts, and players have erupted online. One WNBA analyst summed it up perfectly. Van Loo skipped celebrating Eurobasket to report to the Valks, only to be cut upon re-entering the country. She should have been home. She should have been with her teammates. So unacceptable. People aren't buying the roster limit excuse either.
Like, they waived her while she was on a plane. Not only that, her team, like Belgium, the Belgian national team had a whole bunch of celebrations. They had a
Yes, the WNBA only allows 12 players per team, less than the NBA's 15. But the league has known for months that the Eurobasket schedule conflicted with the WNBA season. They knew players like Van Loo would leave temporarily. They had time to plan, and they chose to handle it in the worst way imaginable. After all that sacrifice, Julie was cut for roster flexibility. Reports suggest the Valkyries wanted to keep rookie Caitlin Chin, who they believe has more long-term potential. Okay, fine. Make the decision. But why do it like this? Why embarrass your player in the most public and painful way? You don't need a PR degree to know this was a catastrophe. Fans are now calling for boycotts of the Valkyries and even the WNBA itself.
whole bunch of celebrations for winning Eurobasket. So she won an international competition with Belgium, which is bigger than any WNBA championship. For them, anyway. For her, it's bigger than winning a WNBA championship. She won. And not only that, they won it in a...
The fallout from the Julie Van Loo situation is going to echo far beyond this season. It's not just about one player. It's about every future international star looking at the WNBA and asking, do they really value me? The way the Valkyries handled Van Loo's exit sends a dangerous message. You can be a hero overseas, make sacrifices for your WNBA team, and still be discarded like yesterday's trash. That's a public relations disaster. And yet the league has done next to nothing to address it. The commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, who's been at the helm during the most pivotal growth period in league history, has said nothing. She's hiding behind silence while her players suffer public humiliation. That's leadership failure 101. Engelbert and her team had ample opportunity to get ahead of this. They could have put out a statement of empathy. They could have offered Van Loo a proper exit with gratitude and dignity. Instead, they let her get blindsided by an Instagram notification. If this is how the W treats its players in the spotlight, imagine what happens behind closed doors.
Business. Man, some nasty work there. And I get it, it's a business. You have to do what you have to do. But fam, you couldn't even allow her to get back to the facility. You couldn't even allow her to touch down in the bay before you let her go. My goodness, fam.
And yes, this matters to fans. We're in a new era where transparency and player treatment are under a microscope. The fans who are tuning in for Caitlin Clark aren't just here for flashy plays. They're here for narratives, for emotion, for human connection. And you just shattered one of those connections by gutting a fan favorite like Van Loo without warning. Think about the optics. You've got a European champion returning from the biggest win of her life, wearing her national pride like a badge, only to be slapped in the face the moment she lands. And not even by a human being, but by a cold, impersonal social media update. The timing is criminal, the manner is cruel, and the silence is deafening. Let's talk about the supposed justification here. Visa logistics. Some are saying that had Van Loo been waived while still overseas, her visa would have been immediately cancelled, preventing her from returning to the US.
As soon as she stepped off the plane, bro. For real? Shut up. It's like when stuff like this happen, bro, it really like...
Okay, but let's break that down. If the Valkyries were aware of that loophole, then they obviously knew she would be released. So again, why not tell her? Why not allow her to make an informed decision? Why not show her the same respect she showed you when she skipped a national celebration to report back to her WNBA team? This wasn't a surprise move. The Valkyries had weeks to prepare. Reports state that after their win against the Storm, the team knew they needed to create 3 roster spots for returning players: Julie Van Loo, Janelle Salon, and Chilea Zandolini. That was Sunday. They had time. Instead, they chose Betrayal. And this isn't just about Julie. This is about the entire structure of the WNBA and how it views its international talent. The WNBA has long been propped up by incredible players from Europe, Australia, and beyond. These women leave their families, play year-round to support themselves, and give everything to the league. And yet, they are often the first to be cut when rosters get tight. They're treated like interchangeable parts rather than invested professionals. The message is loud and clear. Your loyalty is optional, our betrayal is not. Now let's zoom out. This isn't the first time the WNBA has fumbled its public image. Remember the chaos surrounding Caitlin Clark's early weeks in the league?
You know, at the end of the day, like, you feel me? Like, this really a business. Like, and you gotta treat it as such, bro. Like, you can't really, you gotta get out your...
The hard fouls, the constant targeting, the lack of intervention from referees or league executives. It painted a picture of a league unprepared to protect its stars. The Clark effect has been monumental. Games featuring her average 1.81 million viewers. Games without her, just 847,000. That's a 53% drop. The league's survival is tied to her stardom, and yet, they couldn't figure out how to protect her from repeated unsportsmanlike hits. The same negligence is now hurting Vanloo. These aren't isolated incidents. These are symptoms of a broken culture. A culture that has no idea how to treat its stars, or rising ones, with even a modicum of dignity. And as for the Valkyries, the excuse of investing in Caitlyn Chin doesn't hold water when you factor in the timing.
That's
why it's hard to get comfortable anywhere though.
Nah, that's
you don't
facts.
know. You don't never know.
You literally, you always gotta stay on your P's and Q's, because at the end of the day, like, you got a job just like somebody else got a job.
Yes, building for the future is important. Yes, younger players offer more longevity. But doing it at the emotional expense of someone who just carried her national team to history? That's cowardice. Fans are already roasting the team on social media. Comments like, "The Valkyries should be ashamed," and "This is why the W will never grow," are everywhere. One post summed it up perfectly. She sacrificed for you, and you spit in her face. And they're not wrong. The Golden State Valkyries had a chance to show class, compassion, and professionalism. Instead, they chose convenience. And Engelbert's silence only makes it worse. Where is the leadership? Where's the accountability? Where's the public reassurance that this won't happen again? Instead, we get radio silence from a league that's supposedly entering its golden age.
Parade, and Julie posted on her story the video they played of her because she couldn't be there because she was flying back to the States, and she said, "I love you, Belgium, I wish I was there." She posts that she made it to the States, back in Fog City, a heart around the arena, and then the next post is that she's been cut